Hey travel bees, are you ready to travel? Well, me too. So let's talk about how to travel during COVID. Now we all know that we're gonna need a mask, plenty of hand sanitizer, and stay 6 feet away from people. I know that things can seem discouraging right now because international travel is off the board a little bit, looking like for the rest of the year. Now that could change if a vaccine makes its way into our society, but as of right now, it looks like things are looking a little bit not on the bright side for international travel. But there are so many other ways that you could be traveling. So let's talk about some of those different ways that you could be traveling. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you don't know what a travel bee is, what I call you guys, it is the combination of a traveler and a wannabe traveler. So that creates a travel bee. So I hope that you guys enjoy my content. If this is the first video you're watching, I hope you enjoy it and that this helps you. Feel free to check out any of my other videos. I do post new videos every week on Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure if you guys do like this video, they give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell to stay posted about all of my new videos coming up. So like I said before, if you are watching this right now, you are probably itching to leave your house. I know I was, and that was before COVID. I had a couple of trips planned during this whole pandemic, during the summertime, and I had to cancel them. So I had a big trip to Budapest that I was planning, and it was gonna be my first international solo trip. Was super excited for it, but it did get canceled. Everything happens for a reason though, and if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't be with you guys here today, sharing with you all of my amazing travel tips, because I started this YouTube channel during COVID. I like to always look on the positive side of things. I think that this has given us an opportunity to really explore our domestic travel area a lot more. So I'm in the US. If you're in the US, we have so much to see here. For a few years now, things like RVs and van life and camping have been a big part of our travel atmosphere, but now it's even bigger than it ever was before, and people are going out there and buying RVs like hotcakes and exploring the whole van life. I'm actually really excited because this next Tuesday coming up, if you guys haven't already seen my Travel Tip Tuesdays that I do a live video every Tuesday with a new guest that comes on. And this week I have an awesome guest. They are the owners of Quench Your Adventure, and they also have a YouTube channel, so make sure you guys check them out because their channel is awesome as well with great tips. But they're going to be coming on to my live show to talk about their experience with van life. And I can't tell you guys how interesting it really is. I never expected to be in van life, and I've had friends who talked about van life all the time, and for some reason it never piqued my interest. I was never like, yeah, that sounds interesting and I want to do that. But once I started seeing their trips and them actually putting their van together and how probable it was and just how freeing it seemed, I was like, oh my gosh, I think I might want a van in the future, especially being locked in my house all the time. Why not have my house mobile for a few weeks so that I can see some places? Make sure you guys tune into that. I'll make sure to link that live video. You're able to go to that video and click get reminded so that you guys can get notified when we're live so you can ask your questions live. It's gonna be a really great video. And if you're watching this after the fact, then you can still go to that same link and check out the video that we did. I do this Travel Tip Tuesday every week to try and give you guys a lowdown of what is going on in the travel industry because it is changing so much. Now there are so many different facets and so many different changes that are happening. I've talked to flight attendants, I've talked to travel advisors, I've talked to so many different people to try and pick their brain about where they think the industry is going, what it's gonna look like, what are we gonna have to do, how is it gonna be changing, like cruising, flying, so many different aspects of the whole industry. As you guys can see, I have a lot of different videos that I do, so go ahead and check them out with the Travel Tip Tuesdays. You won't regret it, and there's some amazing people that you guys can always reach out to if you need to. So it is unfortunate that international travel doesn't seem like it's gonna be really plausible in 2020, but there are still flights that are going out internationally, and mind you, if you take those flights, you may have to quarantine yourself for 2 weeks if you go over there. So that means if your vacation time is only 2 weeks or a week, you're gonna have to quarantine for 2 weeks over there before you can even go do anything. So it's not really plausible for you to go over there unless you have 3 months they were planning to spend over there, and 2 weeks isn't really a big chunk of time comparative to the whole time that you're going to be over there. Now, this also is applied when you're coming back from these places. So you can get over there, but if you try to come back to the US, you may encounter some issues too. I highly recommend going to travel.state.gov, and that is going to help you guys in getting all of the up-to-date information from the US Travel Embassy and making sure that you aren't going to run into any issues if you do plan on traveling internationally. They even have a map on there that shows you guys the different countries and what they recommend when traveling over there, whether they recommend you don't travel there, highly advised to reschedule, traveling just with precautions, or whatever it might be. But general rule, most places, international travel isn't really happening as of right now. Hopefully soon that changes, because I know my next trips are Budapest and Iceland. Now, let's talk a little bit about domestic travel. And I've had a couple of conversations with friends over the past couple of weeks about this, because I have been getting people excited about travel and trying to encourage people to, one, travel internationally in general. I also want to encourage people to travel domestically. There is so much in the US here. A lot of times I compare the US to Europe in regards to size and how our states are compared to their countries. Now, obviously, in Europe, when you cross borders over there, you are crossing into a whole nother cultural aspect and a whole nother country with possibly a different language. So obviously that's very exciting. But in the US here, our states are so different as well. Florida, where I'm at, I'm burning up. I don't know why I'm wearing a sweater right now, but I am, because it's super cute. Serengeti. Weekends are for adventure. I mean, this is super cute, but still, we are burning up here. And in Colorado, they have beautiful weather. And in Washington, there's a whole nother climate. There's the desert, there's mountains. We have it all here in the US. So guys, there is no lack of better words to say that we have an amazing country to travel around. So if you have a travel bug, travel domestically. I know I have. I know that since COVID hit us and we got out of quarantine, what did I start doing? I went on a camping trip to Ichetucknee Springs, which I made a video about. Feel free to check it out, my little vlog. I also did a road trip to Tennessee and South Carolina. Loved doing that as well and exploring those areas a little bit more. And in September, I plan on doing a trip out to the Midwest, possibly Montana, Idaho, and Colorado, and I'm going to be exploring out there more. My goal is to see as many states as possible, and it's always been a goal of mine to see all 50 states. The number of states that I've done right now are 10 states out of 50 states. I did make a video on those 10 states that I actually visited, so if you guys want to check out that video, feel free. I give advice on what I liked about each of those states and what I loved most, and I plan on tracking every 10 states, making a video about those 10 states that I've been to. But that aside, I am looking forward to really just exploring the US more domestically as we are dealing with this COVID, because nothing's gonna stop me from travel, and it shouldn't stop you either. Just because you can't go to an exotic place like Ireland or Scotland or Germany, you can still see just as many beautiful places here. They're telling us to social distance, making sure that we're protecting ourselves against anything that could cause us to get the virus, right? So what better way to avoid that than to avoid all people in general and just go hiking in the mountains or go camping on my own campsite where I don't have to be around everybody else in a hotel. I mean, that sounds great to me. So guys, I just don't want you guys to feel discouraged and feel like you can't travel in the climate in which we are. You can take road trips. Flights are happening in the US here, and no, you don't have to quarantine if you go to another state. There are some states that had that implemented, but as far as I know, that was in the Northeast. They have taken that standard down. So obviously, do your research, Google it, wherever you plan on going, make sure that that area doesn't have anything. If you're driving into a place, you're probably not going to have an issue. If you're flying in, just make sure you're taking all those precautions by wearing your mask, making sure you have plenty of hand sanitizer, are making sure that you are staying away from people and not getting all up into people's face. The airlines are doing a lot to make sure that we are safe because they don't want to lose any more money either. And they are changing a lot of their protocols so that we can continue to travel and make it more safe for everyone. The airlines, from what I've been told, are cleaner than they've ever been. So that is a good thing. It probably is what we should have been doing before, but that's okay. Things happen, things change. I'll be sure to record my experience on the flight when I do take my flight in September to the Midwest. So we'll see how that goes. So guys, that's all I've got for you guys today. If you have any questions about where you should go in the US, where should you go first, you maybe just want a little bit of inspiration on how to get started in traveling, what you should bring, feel free to reach out to me. Leave me a comment below. If you liked this video, leave me a comment and tell me you liked it. Subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell. It truly does mean the world to me when you do that. It helps me as a creator to continue making these videos, and I appreciate you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Until next week, and hopefully you'll tune in for that Travel Tip Tuesday and I'll get to talk to you guys live with your questions. Hope to see you guys then. Have an amazing week. Bye. By the way, guys, this sweater is amazing and super soft on the inside. So if you want it, I'll link that below as well. This is Serengeti, my favorite travel brand clothing. So check that out in the description. Have a great week.